everyone, welcome to drama class. Well, let me introduce myself. I am Miss Kimwati Viren and I will be your teacher for drama class today. Well, let's head down to this lesson. Today it's going to be a very interesting day and it's going to be a very interesting class. So we will be looking at an element of a poetry. But before we go ahead, I must ask, how are you doing today? How's everybody today? I'm sure everybody is very well. I know some may not be feeling well, but I'm very glad and very thankful that you're here listening. Well, class, let's get down to this. Today, we will be talking about the story on, its name is Death of a Salesman, right? So this story we're going to be looking at, and we're going to be looking at an element of poetry for this very story known as Death of a Salesman. So class, let's get down to business. So all I need you to do is just sit back, relax, make yourself comfortable, and we will be heading down to a very great lesson today. Alright? Class, as I said, my name is Miss Kimwati Viren and we are in drama class. We will be continuing and we'll be looking at an element of poetry. So, have you ever heard of the word characterization? What is the word? Characterization. Have you ever heard of this word, characterization, before? I'm sure you heard it somewhere. Right, class? Good. So as we're into the word characterization, as we speak, so in this part, we're going to look at what is characterization. And here we are, and we landed here. So characterization is a process by which an author develops and presents a character in a story, play, or other literary work. It helps readers understand the character's personality, motivations, and relationship. Or otherwise, we can make it very small and sweet. Characterization is all about the people in the story or the people in the play. Alright, class? So, if anybody to ask you what characterization is, the persons in the story, the persons in the play. Alright? So, let's get down to the story, Death of the Salesman. So, we're going to talk about the characters in there. Alright, class? Let's get down to that story. Here you go. Remember, sit back, relax, and we're going to be looking at a small video on it. The characters.
Let's talk about the characters of Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman. Willie Loman. Willie has become confused, often blurring past and present, and much of the play's sadness stems from watching this character struggle to fend off reality. He's lost his salary, been demoted to straight commission, and is no longer making any sales. He borrows money from his neighbor, and pending bills emphasize his failures as well as his deep disillusionment with the trajectory of his life. Willie's the father of two adult sons, Biff and Happy. Willie's own father abandoned him when he was still young, and his older brother Ben led a life of adventure in Alaska and Africa. During a trip to find his father, Willie met Dave Singleman, a successful traveling salesman, and he determined to become one himself. He hoped to gain financial success and a reputation. Frequently away from home, Willie had an affair with another woman. When his son Biff discovered his infidelity, their relationship changed forever. Willie's delusion builds as the play progresses, and he eventually commits suicide to provide his family with the payout from his life insurance policy. Linda Loman. Linda's primary role is to support and defend her husband no matter what. She's aware of many of Willie's secrets, and she works diligently to maintain the illusion of his success. In their marriage, she allows him a level of authority and control that he doesn't enjoy in his professional life, and this makes her an equal partner in the family's delusions. Linda seems to believe that the lies are what keep Willie alive. To this end, she tries to repair the relationship between Willie and their two sons, going as far as to tell Biff that his life is in your hands. Biff Loman. Biff is the Loman's older son, 34 years old at the time of the play. As a child, Biff idolized his father and worked hard to please him, especially through his high school football career. Taking after his father, Biff, as a young man, valued being liked more than adhering to ethical rules, and he became a petty thief, something Willie overlooked. But the discovery of his father's infidelity caused a lifelong rift, and Biff struggles against the image of his father as a phony and a fake. Biff is also like his father in his love of the outdoors. He's not yet settled in life because business leaves him unfulfilled. Biff's desire to change, to come clean and face the realities of the past, and also to follow a different path to happiness, causes conflict with everyone else in his family, but especially with his father. And this father-son dynamic is arguably the emotional crux of the play. Happy Loman. Happy, the Loman's younger son, is a 32-year-old womanizing deceiver who shares many of his father's worst characteristics. Happy seldom presents the truth about himself, and he's driven by a desire to be superior, which means sexual conquests and infidelities that humiliate executives. Happy shows none of Biff's desire for change. Even after Willie's suicide, Happy remains committed to his father's shallow dream to come out number one man.
Well, I hope you very much enjoyed that video, and as you can see, inside the video we have all the characters shown. So that was it. Now we're gonna look at some key characters that we saw in the story just now, right? So first of all, we have Willie Loman, right, who is the protagonist in the story, and he is known as a struggling salesman who is deluded by the American dream and haunted by past regrets, right? He's a man, he wants to become something, but he's haunted by past regrets. Then we have Linda Loman, who is Willie Loman's wife, right? So Linda is a very loyal woman. She's very loyal to him. So as it says here, Willie's loyal and supportive wife who tries to keep the family together despite financial and emotional struggles, right? Financial and emotional struggles depends on, no matter what, she is there, right? She's there no matter what, and she doesn't care anything but what he does. She's there to be his loyal wife, to be his supportive wife, no matter what he does in the outside. Here is a picture of Willie Loman, Happy, and Biff. So Willie Loman and his wife has 2 children, and let's talk about them. So Biff Loman, who is Willie's elder son, once a high school football star, but now disillusioned and lost, and is struggling to find his own path, right? So his eldest son is struggling to find his own path. Where you have Happy, oh, I'm sorry, this is his eldest one, and this is Happy Loman. So Willie Loman's youngest son, who is most optimistic and ambitious, but follow his father's shallow pursuit of success, right? So you always find in conflict that one child may follow you in life and one will not. So that is how the family is. So there you have it, a small picture showing the family, the man's both sons. Next we have Charlie, Willie's neighbor and a true friend, who offered him financial help and a dose of reality. So this neighbor, Willie has a very good neighbor who is a true friend and who have helped him out financially. in most cases. Then we have Bernard, who is Charlie's son, his neighbor's son, who is a successful lawyer, who contrasts with Biff and Happy, showing that hard work, not charm, leads to success. So Bernard is Charlie's son and Charlie is Willie's neighbor, right? And Bernard, who is Charlie's son, is a very successful lawyer. And because he's a successful lawyer, he tends to show Willie's sons that, you know what, charm does not always bring you fame and success. You have to get down and do the real work. You have to be working hard to get success. Then we have Ben, which is Willie's deceased older brother, who appears in his hallucination as a symbol of ultimate success and adventure. Well, as you see in the story, Ben, who is a deceased older brother of him, always had been a very successful person in life, right? And so Willie wanted to become successful as well. Then we have Howard Warner, which is Willie's unsympathetic boss, who eventually fires him, right? Then we have the woman, Willie's mistress in Boston, whose affair Bill discovered, leading to his disillusionment, right? So Willie also have a mistress or an outside lover that cause more distress in his family. So let's get down to the author now. Who is Arthur Miller? So there is this person who had made the story Death of a Salesman, right? He had created the story and provided us this story or this play, Death of the Salesman. So we're gonna touch a little about him on his work. So who is this man? So the writer name is Arthur Miller, and he was born on October 17, 1915 in New York. And he passed away 2005 in February 10th, right? In Roxburgh, Connecticut. Well, and he was an American playwright who combined social awareness with a searching connection for his characters' inner lives. He is best known for Death of the Salesman. So Death of the Salesman was done in 1949, the year 1949. And Arthur Miller develops the characters of Death of the Salesman through dialogue. So everything was done in dialogues. Stage direction, flashback, and symbolism, allowing the audience to see their complexities, contradictions, and internal struggle. So this man have bring about all his characters so that the audience can be so pulled and so pushed to see how things were acted. He had made things just like Shakespeare, right? And he had used most likely dialogues in his play, and his play was very successful. And it's from since 1949. We weren't born yet, and this play is still there. All his characters we have been learning today, and that is very, very unique. Don't you think, class? Very, very unique that this play was done so many years ago. Now we're getting to know about Billy Loman. We're getting to know about Willie Loman, his wife, his mistress, what happened in his story, and so on. Isn't that true? Right, class? Guess who's this person? Well, this is the author himself, right? Remember the author we talked about just now? This is a picture of him. And he's a very popular man. This is the man known as Arthur Miller. And as you can see at the bottom of it is his name. Arthur Miller. Right? So this is the picture of Arthur Miller, the author of, or the creator of, Death of a Salesman. Well, class, we're going to analyze this, and we're going to be looking at some more details on Death of a Salesman. Alright, class, let's get down to business. As you can see here, we're going to analyze how Arthur Miller develops characters in his play. So when we look at analyzing, we're going to be looking at what happened really, how it was done, and what these characters most likely done in his play. So first of all, we're going to look at Willy Loman, who is the protagonist in our story, and as you can see, is known as a tragic protagonist. So Arthur Miller presents Willy as a deeply flawed but sympathetic character. His grand illusions about success and self-worth drive the play's conflict. So this character had been driven by conflict. Let's go again. Through flashback, Miller reveals how Willy's past choices shape his present failures, showing his decline from hope to despair. His dialogue is often fragmented, reflecting his mental instability and inability to distinguish past from present. So as you can see, in the last part of this the play, Willy had committed suicide, right? Because of what he'd done in the past. So this man has committed suicide, very sorry to hear. And it showed how his mental instability and inability had put him in that place. Then we go straight to Linda Bowman, who is the very devoted wife to Willy Loman. So let's read about her. The silent strength. So she's known as, let me say, the silent strength. Miller portrays Linda as a devoted wife who sees Willy's weaknesses but supports him unconditionally. Her monologues, especially her famous "attention must be paid" speech, emphasizes her role as the emotional anchor of the family. Her quiet suffering and restraint make her a tragic figure in her own right, as she is powerless to stop Willy's downfall. So here we are. She's a very strong woman who put a blind eye to all the wrong things that Willy does, but she's there to support and to keep her family together. Like majority of our mom, no matter what wrong thing our father or so might do, our mother is always there to keep the family together, no matter what she goes on, what struggle she passed through. Well, that is the strength of a woman, which we call today woman's power. Well, class, here we are again. We're going to be talking about Bilph Loman, who is a disillusional son. So Bilph Loman undergoes the most significant transformation and realization that falsehood of Willy's dream. In flashback, Bilph is seen as an adored son, full of promise, but his discovery of Willy's affair shattered his idealism. So it shattered his heart, means that you've seen your father doing something wrong. This confrontation was Willy's show, his struggle between love and resentment, his final realization, I am nothing, Pops. Right? You finally realize something goes wrong and you're going to tell yourself, I am nothing, Pops. That's exactly what happened to him. So to Bilph Loman highlights his acceptance of reality, contrasting with Willy's continued self-deception. So Willy Loman has this son who, after seeing all the wrong thing that his father does, tells himself that he's nothing, and he tells his father plain that, you know what, Pops, I'm nothing. No matter what Willy's does, or how much he continue to self-deception himself. Then we have again Happy Loman. So this son of Willie Loman is blindly ambitious. So this one is a very ambitious son of him. And Happy is portrayed as a reflection of Willie's worst trait. And this guy is superficially charmed, self-delusion, and an obsessor, and is very obsessive with his success. His dialogue is filled with boasts and empty promise, showing that he has learned nothing from his father's mistake. Unlike Bilf, he refused to change, tragically continuing Willie's failed dream. So as you can see, one son of him has seen through his father and seen what happened to his father and what goes on in his life. And there is next son who doesn't care a damn and is willing to continue his father's failed dreams and continue everything, although the strugglation was real. Well, class, as you can see, those were some analysis of his son, Willie Loman, and his wife and his two sons, right? So now we're gonna go down and head down to some activity corner of this class. So this is our activity corner. Who is your favorite character in the story? So what can you tell me? Who is this favorite character? Is it the protagonist, Willie Loman? Or can we say his wife? Or can we say Happy Loman? Or can we say Biff? So, or we can say Charlie or Bernard, or what about the mistress? So we're gonna say, who is your favorite? You're gonna tell me now who is your favorite favorite character in the story. Next thing we're gonna look at, which character was the boldest? Which character put out himself and said, you know, he's the boldest? Let's say Biff Bowman, who said, I'm nothing, Pops. He come out and tell his father plain I'm nothing, because he also seen through reality. Next question, we're gonna look at how Willie's character made such impression in the story. So remember, he's a salesman. He has been fired, and he's tried and he's borrowed money from a very good neighbor named Charles, and Bernard, who was Charles' son, and he was a very successful lawyer. So you're gonna tell me how Willie's character made such impression in this story, right? So the next question will be, was the family happy with Willie's infidelity? You see, when infidelity happen and things like that occur, everyone in the family felt hurt. But Willie's wife was the strength, and she doesn't care whatever happened. Yes, she was hurt, but his infidelity didn't change anything with her, because she wanted to keep her family together. No matter what, she gave Willie the strength and also kept his family together, because she is the first and not the only first and only woman who stand up with her family. Many of us know such woman, which we call mother. Next one, which character was given the best role of out all? And you're gonna look back, and I'm gonna send you the video of the story, and you're gonna tell me which one of the characters was given the best role out of all. Which one you like has done well overall. Last question is gonna be, which character contributed to the theme of the story? So as we all know, the word theme, right? This word here, theme. So the theme is known as the main idea of a story or poem. So we can say in this story, it's about love, relationship. We can make it themes. So you're gonna tell me which character contributed to the theme of the story, right? So this is our activity corner. Then for homework, you're gonna write a short paragraph on Willie's character. Go back to the story, go back to the videos that I've sent you, and you're gonna check it out and see and then you're gonna write a short paragraph on Willie's character. Then you're gonna state how was his relationship with his family. So in your short paragraph, right, you're gonna tell me about Willie's character and state how was his relationship with his family. Alright, class? And that was the end. Welcome. Well, we're gonna be talking about the end of the story. Thank you all for paying attention, and make sure you get home very safely, and we'll see you again on the Zoom. Thank you.